The little goat lover. In a small village nestled between rolling green hills, a baby named Aiden was born with the gentlest heart. From the moment he could crawl, he showed a fascination with animals, especially goats. His mother, Eliza, often found him giggling at the fence of their tiny farm, reaching out his chubby hands to touch the soft fur of the baby goats. Aiden's father, Thomas, was a farmer who raised a few goats for milk and cheese. Every morning, as the sun bathed the valley in golden light, Thomas would take Aiden in his arms and walk toward the barn. The moment Aiden saw the goats, his face would light up with pure joy. He would clap his hands and babble excitedly, his laughter mingling with the playful bleats of the kids. As Aiden grew older, his love for the goats only deepened. By the time he could toddle on his own, he spent most of his day in the barn, sitting among the goats as if he were one of them. He had a special bond with a tiny white kid named Snowflake, who had been born weak and fragile. While the other goats ran around playfully, Snowflake struggled to keep up. Aiden, sensing her loneliness, would sit beside her, patting her gently, sharing his tiny snacks, and even humming lullabies that his mother sang to him at night. One evening, a heavy storm swept through the village. The wind howled, and rain poured down in thick sheets. Thunder rumbled in the distance as the villagers hurried to secure their animals and homes. Inside the farmhouse, Aiden sat by the window, watching the rain with a worried expression. He turned to his parents and pointed toward the barn, his little voice full of urgency. "Goats," he said, his big brown eyes filled with concern. Eliza smiled gently. "They're safe, sweetheart. Daddy made sure of it." But Aiden wasn't convinced. He reached for his tiny boots and tried to put them on, determined to check on Snowflake. Thomas chuckled, lifting his son onto his lap. "All right, little goat lover, let's take a quick look." With Aiden bundled in his arms, Thomas rushed through the rain toward the barn. Inside, the goats huddled together, safe and dry. But Snowflake was missing. Aiden's tiny hands clutched his father's shirt as he scanned the barn, his face full of worry. Then, a faint bleat came from the corner. Snowflake had hidden behind a stack of hay, frightened by the storm. Aiden wiggled out of his father's arms and toddled over to her, wrapping his little arms around the shivering kid. Snowflake nuzzled him in return, finding comfort in his presence. That night, as the storm calmed, Thomas carried Aiden back inside, Snowflake cuddled in his arms. From that day on, everyone in the village knew, Aiden wasn't just a little boy. He was the heart and soul of every goat on the farm, their protector, their friend, their little goat lover.